the Profit Point Show, and this is the stock market segment. I have Ambrose Omodi in the studio, my usual guest when it comes to stock market. Ambrose is an investment analyst from Invest Data Limited. Ambrose, how are you?
I'm very fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're always fine. Market is up, you're fine. Market is down, you're fine.
Yes, now, because if you understand the reasons on the market, you don't need to
You won't be you. I like you. I like that. Right. Thanks for coming on board. Okay. How was the market this past 1 week?
Yeah, the market has been a mixed market, and it's expected, like I told the investors in the forum last week, that when market has rallied in 2020, it's expected that there will profit taking. But when it becomes something else, when market has lost like 20%, you know, the market is in a bearish market. But now market has not corrected up to like 5%. Why are we panicking? Market that gave you 50% return in 1 year. That is for the index. That means individuals are giving like 200, 300, because if the index is giving you 50 point something percent return, yes, it's a past activities we're doing, but that will lead to the current one because people have to sell off because they are made to cash it out. Then market has back to correct. But the good thing is that as the market is correcting, some sectors are more opening up for opportunities for investors to invest. Why? Because what is happening in the economy today, globally or locally, has to see that there are some industries where you can enter today and make money. They don't need to be looking at only the index. And also, let us not forget that our index is controlled by just only about 8 stocks. Because those kind of stocks are controlling about 70% of the market. Then if the market, if those stocks are down to reflect on the index, that means for you to get real reflection of the market, look at the sectors index, and know where you can look at. For me, there's no cause for alarm at this time because we're just starting the year at the middle of any season. Then why are you panicking? And this is time for companies to be rewarding investors with dividend. For me, there's no cause for alarm. I see it anywhere. Okay. That is the time for you to think your strategy very well. If you have lost money before, this is the time to think your strategy. Because the same market where you lost money, you make money. Maybe you have make money. You now think on that side to make better money. That is where it should be. Not just because you lost money, that is because of you enter at the top now. Around the January, end of January or early February. Market correct. Then you don't need to panic. Look at, okay, which sector am I going to move my funds to should be most important thing. Not just looking at the price up and down, I don't know.
So one of the strategies you actually advise is moving from one sector. To another.
Yeah. There's always opportunity in different sectors at different times. What happens in the economy will tell you that this sector is what is happening. You should go there. You have to decide, like yesterday, where I was with somebody on phone. They said NCC and CBN had just met to change the commission or the transfer charges for just about almost 6 naira 98 kobo. That should open your eyes to see where should this money be going to. And this one, if you are sitting at home, you are making money. If you are anywhere you are making money. You should want to reflect somewhere. You should also be for me, I say, anytime after around the economy, should also, when they say they are increasing fuel every day, which we are going to benefit from that. Yes, it's affecting of us, but there are sectors that will benefit from that increment. As an investor, you should be looking at whose sector would like to be looking at. No, for me, there's always opportunity in the market. That's why we're having what we call master class, where we do the investor where to put your money for the Q2 that is coming now. Already this is the end of the Q1, right? Q2. And Q2, there are bound to be activities that will make you money. Then for me, that's your position and make that money. Then you come to the master class, open your eyes where to put your money. That is it.
Okay. Let's quickly give us a phone number for those that might be interested in the master class.
Yeah, 080-281-64085. You can call out anytime.
Okay, thank you, Amber. So let's go into the gainers and losers as of yesterday. Top 5, though. The companies that topped the gainers chart were Wapik, 10%, Orlando, 9.67%, Unity Bank, 9.09%. Then followed by Livestock and Prestige Assurance. Then the losers chart we had NCR, Nimet, Vitaphone, Mansard, NEM. All right, so what do you have to say to this gainers chart? Unity Bank and Orlando.
Even looking at the gainers chart and also go back to look at the sectorial index for yesterday. The oil sector led the market performance yesterday because Teplat was up, Orlando was up. You ask yourself, why are these ones coming up now? You should understand that Orlando and Teplat are really into offshore business, to crude oil. Price have moved from as low as $12 in April last year to almost 71. The same, within the year, because we're not in April yet. That within a year. Which sector will benefit from that? Which company in Nigeria will benefit from that? Orlando and Teplat. We're not talking of the increment in pump price in Nigeria here. Those that are into marketing. And actually, a good investor that is designed to know that, this process, we have seen full year results for surplus. They still maintain, that's why their account is in red, they pay dividend. Going forward, if oil continues to rally, and there's also a super cycle that's saying that oil is likely to touch $100 this year. Why? It's a vaccine year where this vaccine is to allow economy to start running, start working back again. That means there will be demand for what? For crude oil, demand for activities. For me, that will sustain oil price. On that note, if you are designed as an investor, you should know where to put your money. And you see one day featuring on the top gainers again. It's about last 2 weeks when the information that they won a court case that the price future before Sekna came out to say, we didn't know about this judgment and all slow down. Apart from that, the cost of the sector where Wando is playing, if you're an investor that is designing, it's a long-term investor, not for dividend. You can't take a position in Wando. For long term, not for traders that are saying want to sell, because you're going to make money on the long. Why? Wando is eager to hold AGM. And AGM without SEC approval, the AGM will not hold. I will say everywhere. And they want to work also expand them because they're giving them a contract to run some pipe on gas between Abuja to the north part. They need money to do all those activities. And for me, they've been eating the gas. Let's see AGM.
Members, you know why I'm smiling.
Why is smiling?
You know why I'm smiling.
I'm telling you, when it comes to trust, I know that.
Thank you.
When it comes to trust, we don't trust.
Why I'm saying that is
hold on.
Okay.
When we go to trust or the past record, one cannot be trusted. But now, when you go there, I don't know if you want to make dividend. Like never say that there are different types of investors in the market. If I'm taking risk in one day, I'm not going to wait for dividend because in just story. So if you're going to raise funds, I will tell you I'm going to raise funds. One day we're raising funds at 3 naira. I'm going to raise from 3 naira.
No, you mentioned something that investors can look at Owando on the long run. That's my point.
That long run,
no dividend? You're not sure of.
When I mean long run here, it might be 6 months or 1 year. Not
short
just
run.
Yeah. That long run, I mean that don't just invest today if you want to pull out Owando tomorrow. Because they are still discussing the case is still court, which I know that they will set out of.
Can we invest when they've settled?
No. Wait, you have to take risk. Because the CACO said, take this case back to IST. If Kosovo say, no, this is not your jurisdiction, this investment matter, take it back to what? IST. That is the normal thing. It's a sign. What I said that was saying, that means, go back to your what? To where you belong. That means they can go to IST, now SEC and what will be in IST. Settle out of once they settle and they approve their AGM. SEC and what will come out and say they want to respond. But it's for those that want to take it, not those that are, if you know a baby investor, don't go there.
No, it's not a matter of baby. If you know you can't take risk, if you know you don't want to lose the money, it's not about being babyish. I'm not a baby investor, but I'm sure not going to put my money in Owando. If you know you cannot take, I don't even want to say take risk. Owando is very risky. Very risky when it comes to the kind of report they bring in. Very risky when it comes to them saying we will do this and them actually doing it. They're risky when it comes to trust. There's always something they have to do with SEC or IST. It's just one risky business. I mean, not the business now. Stock on the market.
But you can see that there are other stock in that sector that you can look apart from Owando.
Thank you.
Then for me, if you look at Unity Bank featuring as a gainer, then for me, I'll say the market forces. Well, I've said it before now, there is a bank that has about almost...
Why is their shareholding structure? It's
negative.
How are they still there?
That is Nigeria market for you. They are still there.
No, really, I'm going to pause. Is it allowed for a company to run on a negative shareholding structure without being flagged? Without being flagged, no penalty, nothing. It's allowed?
Actually, for me, it's based on regulation. They are regulated by CBN.
So what's CBN
saying
about?
I don't know. And that is kind of thing other banks had when there was takeover. I remember years back. But they say, that's funny, I read, negative.
Took them over.
This one has been negative for months. We have not seen any action. I don't know the style of regulation they use. Whether they...
Are there different styles in the market?
That is what. But Unity is just for me, it's a market sentiment and no market forces. They don't need to really say something. We're not going there for dividend and they've not released their full year results. Why other banks stocks that you can say they have fundamental are going down? Why the one that is shaking is not going up? We have to be very careful when you see the kind of stock like GTV going back down at 28 naira from almost 31 to that. While Unity Bank moved from 60 kobo to 70 kobo. For me, you have to be very careful. But if you are there, then I'm able to make money, sell off and come out. But to buy it, then I would advise you to just hold on. Then if you look at all that that I'm talking about, they are all penny stocks. But you know that when the market is correcting like this, the big ones that have rallied the previous year and early this year are the ones that take profit. Why the small cap will go? But that's why you see a mixed stock topping the gainer start. For me, it's not a bad one, but the market is also resisting going down. That's one thing to notice. Like the indicators technically have shown that market is going down as at Tuesday. Yesterday was a major confirmation. We want to confirm today, tomorrow, and also don't forget that investors are a bit skeptical because of MPC meetings coming up by next week, Monday, Tuesday. They want to wait and see the outcome of the MPC meeting. Investors, they don't want to take this. Now that debt is around the corner, they don't know the side they win, the thing will swing to, whether to the left or the right, whether they were just interested up or down. Now that fixed income yields are rising on a daily basis. For me, I think investors are trying to be. That's why you see volume of activity also have reduced in the market compared to what we saw in January. There's no cost for alarm.
Okay, so Nimitz down, of course. Nimitz is a good stock, still a good stock.
Also,
right
the sector,
at
the sector where it is.
Yeah, Mansard is, and it still is. So it's like we have inverted stock on this.
When I was looking at the chart this morning, this second chart, so when I saw Mansard at 94, so Mansard is 94 is a giveaway. Also, like I thinking also long to can look the kind of stuff. Yeah, only that also a Mansard for me, so they saw their pensions are also one has been reachable. But for foreign investors to see who don't, they are not selling, they are still seeing potential in Mansard because these guys they know how to look at the market very well. Because why? There's a lot of tools to analyze the market. And they have been a major holder in Mansard. They see value of Mansard and they are still
there. Okay, we have just one result and it's on audited Jay's Bank. This bank. They need to have their own sector.
Yes, actually. So you can see that what is your Sterling Bank is almost trying to
do something like that. Okay, gross earning was up by 38.79% and profit after tax was up by 2.70%. Given these results, okay, let's look at the absolute amount. They grew their gross earnings from 13.52 billion to 18.76 billion in 2020. That's, if you can survive 2020, you can survive anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure this result, even though it's not yet audited, I don't see it materially different from the audited version. Yeah. And EPS was also grown from 8 kobo to 9 kobo. This result is even better than some of the commercial banks' results.
Third quarter, we have not seen their fully few every year.
Okay. So what else do we have to say about this?
No, tell you that you just said the bank with a special kind of business they are doing in Nigeria. When they are into interest-free loan and all those stuff, I believe that they are involved also in giving you, when they give you loan, they participate in managing the loan to make sure that, considering the where we are coming from, 2020 was a year of what we call it, a year of the economic disaster.
Yeah, test your strength. If you survive.
No, but it's not in Nigeria, it's a global thing. And most of the companies in Nigeria stock exchange are able to resist that. Shows that our managers are becoming good and strong. It's okay, but for that result, for me, it's not a bad one attractive, but the bottom line was up marginally. It shows that yes, they didn't go into red account. For me, it's okay. And they paid 3 kobo their previous year, and now they've grown marginally their EPS to around 9 kobo. I'm not expecting more than 3 to 4 kobo from them. And the other will be also a stretch for them. They're able to pay their dividend consistent, but they paid last year. That was when they started paying dividend, but they are newly listed on the exchange. If they are paid a full dividend, they will continue by also. But that would be kind of test for them to pay dividend for 2020, despite the economic meltdown and the shaking the environment. It's a good one for Mansard and also for Jais. And also knowing that financial sector anywhere is the engine of any economy. If they're able to survive, I mean, also you can also see signs that Nigeria economy is just entering into early expansion. We're looking at our MPR, the Purchasing Manager Index, at January and February, can see the expansion there. And also we have moved officially from negative GDP to positive GDP, despite that it's still 0.11. For me, it's a sign that the economy is finding. But only that policy to sustain this is the problem. But this fiscal policy here and there, government will say, the only thing that we're afraid of. Fiscal policy will also take you back. But if you have consistent policy that are complementing each other, you move faster. But in the case of Nigeria, we're having a mismatch policy that this one, even within the same industry, one will say something else. Now we're saying the industry that they are not coordinated. For me, I think it's time for government to look at even all the recommended managers and the policy are coming from them. Let them harness the policy result last year might not give the same result because the environment has changed. You can now fine tune your policies where you can remove and add. Then you have to so that you sustain a good recovery.
You know, sometimes I just feel that the people, the regulators, fiscal, monetary, they need to come together and have a meeting. Not, they should stop doing their meetings separately. Like, come together.
So that if you have a coordinator that will,
so that one will not be pulling back while one is going forward. Okay, there is a fear you expressed before we came on here about shareholders, especially the ones in diaspora, about remittance of their dividends. So it should be better you explain.
No, actually, we saw what happened in Champion Breweries and Nigeria Breweries. That was last year. You know, the major shareholders in this company tried to increase their stake, and that impacted on the price of these companies. And Nigeria result was not good. The performance was not good. But last year, the price went from as low as 39 to almost 65, just because Heineken is increasing its stake in the company. Why? Because they are finding some hitches, taking their money away from their dividend. Sorry, their dividend have paid them the previous year away from the country. So them moving it out, decide to invest back to the company. That sent two kind of signal to investors. One, they made the stock liquid for a short period, and so they show that they have confidence in the company and Nigeria economy. That's why they have invested back. But local shareholders will be worried now, because why are they worried? They have even expressed that they are worried. But if you allow these foreign investors to plow back their dividend because they are having issues to take away their dividend away from that, now on the short run, they provide liquidity for the market, which is good. Everybody wants liquidity to be in the market. Person like me, as a short-term trader, I need liquidity in the market to know. But on the long run, these shareholders will be pushed away from the company. Why? When foreign investors buy back and increase is taken from from almost 65% to 70 or 80%. Naturally, you might feel what they say they want to delete. Remember what happened to Nigeria Bottling Company, which is Coca-Cola then. What did they wake up and say they are not on exchange today? Now they are not on exchange again. It's not to stop all these companies if their stake in the company is high. And they start to say, okay, especially multinationals. Say, there are some local companies here owned by Nigerians that have their board. It is not fair where nobody or one person has to control almost 80% of the company. Why they say they have a 20% free flow. But for those foreign investors where they have they are free flow in their company. Those are owned by Nigerians, we are not seeing free flow in those kind of companies. But the fear of investors is that if these foreign investors are unable to take back their dividend and they have to plow back this dividend to the company by getting more shares and increase their stake, that in the long run, they push them away from the market. But in the short run, I see that they are providing liquidity for the market, also showing that they have confidence in the economy. That's why we call on the SEC or NSC to look at this, because it's for the betterment for every Nigerian, even the foreign investor. Going forward to the future, don't know what the future will hold. If they continue to increase their stake and push the local investor away from this company in terms of getting up to 90%, and when they say we want the listing.
Okay, Ambrose, that's your own opinion. No, that's your own view. It's not an opinion now. This is the way I see it. Market is a market, right? So if I have 50 million right now, and I choose to want to buy Guinness up, so far I can get Guinness in the market, and I'm ready to keep on buying it, I'll get it, right? They'll sell it to me. There's no discrimination about who is behind the button, right? So I have an issue with that word push. I don't think anybody is pushing anybody out. They are investors, and they will reason like businessmen. If I cannot get my dividend out because of foreign exchange issue, maybe I can get it out through the normal banking window. I cannot withdraw it out and go change it at higher rate at black market, because I'm going to be losing value because of foreign exchange parity. I'll think like a business person. What's the next thing I can do? I can keep it in fixed income. It's not making money, but I can buy more shares. It's because it is available for me to buy. That's what I can buy. If it's not available for them, they won't get it to buy. So the thing is, if local investors are complaining, then they should buy up too. My point is, there is no favoritism in the market. They can't pause it for you. They can't pause this for you, so that they can't pause one for you, so that you can. If they don't buy it up, somebody else will buy it, right? So why are local investors not buying up? Because if they buy it up, foreign investors won't have what to buy. How much of Nestle can you really buy up? No. It's not available to be bought.
No, actually, like what you just said, we traders in the market, we are not afraid of foreign investors increasing their stake in the company.
You're afraid of them delisting?
fine. On the long run,
there is nothing you can do about it.
But on the long run, you might start to say they are going out because they have stock of this company. Fine, we agree with you. But on the short run, like I said, two things that they should. One, they have confidence in the company and the economy where we are, like Nigeria, that means we are recovering. Two, they provide liquidity in the short run, and that's stock. Because liquidity is about providing circulation, and speculation, and also putting money available. That is the money available, price will go up. But on the long run, why is that this long run? Because when I have 90% of a company, I'm a foreign investor. I have to say, oh, okay, this company, yes, it's okay. If you are not ready to go out from this Nigeria stock exchange, that's because you can see that Mobi has filed for voluntary delisting. You can't go them back. They can do it voluntarily that we are off this exchange. And you can follow them as investors. Yes, off the exchange. You can put it good. But then that the more we have company listed, the more we create money for people, especially on exchange and also activities with them. That's why the regulators, I'm not saying it's a bad, let them look at it. But before the local investors start looking at it, let them have access to forest so that they can provide that. Leaving it as or claim dividend or not putting it back to increase that. For me, it's good. But I said we need liquidity in the market. Not that the market is a bit not quiet. We need liquidity to drive it. Let's think about the regulators also look the way and look at what investors are saying and think the way out of it.
Like I'm saying,
I'm
saying it again.
That is why I say it.
If we cannot fix the dollar issue in the country, which I feel is not a one-man thing, it's
no, the dollar is not like fixing it because
like when I say fix, like if we cannot solve this foreign exchange issue, you cannot force these companies to take out their money. There's no law. You can't force them to take out their money. Who wants to do that? I brought money at so sorry. Do you want me to change it? Nobody does business to make a loss. So there's nothing you can do about that, right? Now, except we want to go back to the rules of the listing, and that will, I don't know, maybe SEC, maybe NSC, I don't know the people, the bodies that will be in charge of that and say that, okay, if you want to delist, you cannot delist this. But the rules are there already, and I don't think these companies are flaunting it. They are just taking advantage of what is there. So, exactly. So if they don't want them to do it, then they should change the rules. But you cannot say that I have 80%, I can't delist. Of course, I can choose to not be on the exchange. Even as a local or a Nigerian company, yes. I can choose to not be on the exchange. Yes. You cannot stop me. So if I have money, I cannot take out because the economy refused to allow me to take it out.
Let me invest it.
I will invest it. There's money that I cannot invest. And it's 80%. Let's say, no. There's money that I cannot invest.
Nobody says they don't invest. Nobody says they should not invest.
Foreign investors, they have no issues there. They have not done anything wrong. You said the stockbrokers.
I didn't say that there's something wrong.
If the retail investors, shareholders, right? I'm retail too. The foreign clients are not paying me. If they are not, if they are complaining, they can buy more or get out of the company and go to a company that is not only owned by. I mean, there are many companies there. Live there and go to another company.
It's also a clue for those that are smart in the market to know where you can put your money. If somebody is going to increase stake and price goes up,
and you are afraid it's going to leave and go to GTV or Zenith.
You can see how their entrance to what's it called, champion breed moved down for almost 90 to go to almost 3. No, Nigeria breed.
Take your money and go.
We say that we are not afraid. We want to know where you are going. So that we know you want to give your thing. Let's enter before you start so that when you go up, we'll see.
Already used to say that stocks.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have to be. It's not that deep. I understand that sometimes we feel that companies are just delisting, and we feel, but they are companies. 80%. They are the major shareholder. They have a right. They have the opportunity to choose to delist if they want to delist. If your exchange is not paying them, they can go.
Value for being
they can go. You can't hold them down. I don't know if because the moment you begin to create laws and say that you cannot delist, they will even come in to begin with. So if you know that a company has been taken over, majorly by foreign investors, and you are afraid that they might delist, then check out and go to the lives that you know that
they are still there.
They are still there. And they'll probably be there for a very long time. I don't see an issue there, honestly speaking. It's like, I'm not taking first. Why am I not taking? They should suspend the person taking first.
The thing is that I'm not complaining. I'm not saying why would I complain? When I like where I can make short-term money. Am I not a trader? No, what is it that the market has to be balanced? all saying that market has a value. That's just work of regulator. You can advise on issues to make the market more transparent, more attractive to both local and foreign investors. Foreign investors coming to invest, I find it's got to, to go at it. So it's not a good, it's not a good thing for Nigeria. It's going others to come. The ones that are already here, since they cannot take their money and try to increase their stake, it shows that they have confidence in the economy and the company, and that will provide liquidity on the short run. But when they are increasing their stake, I will say it's also sending some signal. And like what you say, if you see that the signal is not too good for you, you sell off and go to SUA and see that.
There's no lot, there's no need for us to be having any many stocks.
But the regulator should look at and also advise both the quoted companies and the shareholders.
All right, we keep our fingers crossed. Okay, let's look at investing in this inflation. What's the inflation figure now?
I think that's at Tuesday now, yeah, about 17.33.
Interesting. Always interesting to things I cannot explain.
Yeah. So actually, when you see inflation, right like this or developing like this, you send a signal on. Because all the people are weakened. Investment return that are below that inflation rate is also not encouraging. I mean, if you have a negative return already because it's below the inflation rate. And in Nigeria, our case is not that we are surprised to see this. We can see part of mismatch policy I mentioned earlier when I was discussing about playing out. Since August 2019, when the border was closed, interest rate to make sure that people have access to cheaper funds to drive the social side of it. Not on that, doing that, where you know that anywhere in the world, food is the major component of inflation. Food, and when price of goods are up, the amount of inflation is not by magic. And why the farmers are government adjusted interest rate low, insecurity on the rise. Farmers are not in the farm again because of bandits, one attack or the other. That means produce that are coming from the farm become lesser, and the population of Nigeria will have going for that, people's price will go up. Then, not only that again, came up to increase the major component that drives prices, increase the electricity, increase fuel. This is a policy mismanagement and all those who I think that are coming up in this same period, and that alone will pass cost of production, cost of transportation, and cost of living. And when you go to the farm to even take this produce from the farm, the cost of moving from that farm to the market is high, and the seller will not just say because he wants to do for that Christmas and sell it, he wants to factor in the cost of that transportation and also make money. Price will be up. I think these are the area that I said also the government and the managers also look at. What can we do? Let's solve the insecurity problem. Once that is solved, by having more goods, even during the harvest period, prices are high because we're not having enough coming from the farm. Don't forget that about a week or 2 weeks ago, when they have an issue between the northern and the southern, food were not coming from the north again to the south, and land they were selling even the basket of tomato around 150 over there because we have to bring it to people that want to consume. They are not the things that prices the one here will go up. Of course. And these are we need to settle some policies in Nigeria, and those policies just within ourselves. Our managers should sit down. What work in US might not work in Nigeria, but look at the environment and adopt policy that will, now it's not like last week that the same government announced in the morning that fuel has increased to 209 to 212. In the evening again, the same government said we are sorry. You should know. I mean, even the same ministry will have MPP or the petroleum controlling agent and the NFC said, oh no, price remain the same. This one it tells you that there's no coordination. For me, in time of less government, look at people that are running this government. Let them know that they are not playing, they are not children. Let them come together and make policy that Nigeria will consider that this policy will come today. It will not. Let's have consistent policy that will complement each other. That is what I'm after. Because the figure hitting 17.3 is alarming.
Because
so that both people that are earning money, that are working, your salary cannot take you anywhere again.
Any fixed income, any fixed salary, fixed any.
Why people are still looking at the world capital market? Most of the stocks will return above inflation. Only few of them in terms of capital appreciation. And even look at the dividend yield of most of the stocks. None of them will give you 70% now. That means we are looking at only capital appreciation for you to edge against inflation if you want to invest in equity. But when it was around 10, who was saying that some can give you 40%. But now that move above even the fixed income and equity market. So those are doing capital appreciation. And only few of them that are returning above that 20%. I can say, no, for me, I think this is the time you need to face some issue in Nigeria. No infrastructure, even though the government are trying to drive one. No, you want to look at things will become normal. When you come to refer to abroad, what's happening there, you want to bring their style here, fine, it's good. But when they are copying, put things in order so that we are copying will also yield good results. Our inflation, for me, is not good for the economy, it's not good for the market.
Okay, the meeting, the MPC meeting coming up. What are you expecting?
For me, the MPC coming up on the 22 and 23rd next week, I would advise this is not time for them to even increase interest rates. One, because we're just coming out of recession, and we're also seeing the industrial output increasing. This is not time to cut. Let them be sustained before they can cut.
Thank you very much, Ambrose. Yeah. All right, this brings us to the end of today's show, Profit Points on OGTV. This show returns same time next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Remain safe. Goodbye.